My solution to this problem consists of 4 parts. First, we need to get some user input. As the problem states, this program should be able to look up any date for which data is available, so we need to let the user specify the date they're looking for. Second, we need the program to actually find the data. This data is not going to be stored on a local computer. Instead, we'll be accessing it via a URL. As a result, the data might not be formatted exactly the way we need, so we'll have to reformat it and extract the useful numbers. Third is the actual data analysis. Once we have the data, we can take the mean and the median. Finally, to make the program useful, it should provide some sort of output, either through a graphical user interface or a simple text string. My solution is structured to meet these 4 objectives. The main method handles the input and output, and it calls subsidiary methods to perform the data gathering and calculations. There are an infinite variety of ways to get input and output, but since this challenge is more about the data than the interface, the input and output both go to the console. The method asks users to input a year, month, and day, and then uses those as inputs to find the data needed. The URL for the Navy data site is pretty convenient to use since it stores the data for a certain date in a folder with that date as a label. Therefore, I can take the input and use it to generate the correct URL without having to specify complicated URL mappings. The data is then read into an array list of doubles, which is returned to the main method. Now that the data is in a Java data structure rather than an external location, the last 3 lines of the main method calculate and print out the means and medians for the 3 data sets. Calculating the mean is easy. Just take the sum of all of the doubles and then divide them by the size of the array list. Calculating the median requires 2 cases. If the size of the dataset is even, then we have to take the average of the 2 middle values. If the size of the dataset is odd, then we just take the middle value. Either way, the middle value is accessed by sorting the dataset and just referencing the number that is numerically half of the size. Now let's run the code and see what happens. We are asked to input a year, a month, and a day. Then the application immediately prints out the mean and median for wind gusts, air temperature, and pressure for that day. In the next videos, I'll go into more detail about how I actually program this application.